Zairo, my friend. Welcome to the club. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, doing two. Have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Another fun fact. Come on now. Come on now. You know what time it is. It's Ichi the Witch time. Peak every week. You know I gotta read your eye. And honestly, I'm very, very excited for what's about to get down, dirty, and devious, because I think this is the first time in a long time. I mean, to be fair, we got a little bit of a laugh there, but a first time in a long time, we're gonna get a new witch fight. Like, notably, I love Deskros. I love Deskros' diversity, and obviously, Deskros, while she has her preferences, we've seen a variety of magics from her. Amadoro is gonna be the first witch we've seen fight that's not named Deskros since Togais. And maybe like, what about Sammy? Sammy doesn't count. Sammy doesn't count. They barely fought. They were doing calls. They didn't really count. But you wanna know the last time we saw a new witch fight? Like it was like pre-chapter 20. For reference, we are less than 20 chapters away from 100. It's been a minute! So I am very, very, very excited to see Amadoro get down dirty and devious with it in a 1v1 with Minakata. At least I presume it's a 1v1. I guess this would probably be his time to show out and show off. Maybe Deskros will jump in. It'll really depend on like how the battle goes. But speaking of Minakata, speaking of designs, speaking of the club, regardless, these color designs are fantastic. I'll admit, I was initially a little bit against it. Like when I first opened up the chapter to get ready for reviewing, I was like, it's actually a little plain. But I think the reason all the designs, specifically the coats and the pants, all have this sort of like same cream, and then I assume this is meant to just be the standard black color, is one, because it's a standard uniform, at least seemingly enough. They all have the same like multi-button collar coat. Funnily enough, very akin to what my avatar wears, but like with less detail in some cases and less color. But also they're meant to stand in direct contrast to the witches, who all have unique colors and status designs. And luckily enough, because Shirozaki Sensei is a monster, beast, and a creature, and Osamanishi Sensei is a monster, beast, and a creature in terms of character design, even with the base relatively the same color palette, they've done a fantastic job of differentiating all their designs. From Minakata having a full, almost like trench coat-esque look, to Boxer having a more like open, flowing coat look. Then you have Higurashi. There we go. Then you have Higurashi, who more so like, his is just really, really, it's not even really a coat. It really is just like a long sleeve kind of, I don't want to call it a long sleeve shirt. It's kind of like, it is more jacket than coat, I'd say. Zairo gets to have this really nice, like puffy, I love the puffiness of their outfit, contrasted with like only the bottom 4 buttons actually being buttoned, and they're having like such a broad build that literally it pounces out over them. And then honestly, the one with the like the least favorite, because it's the most basic, is guy whose name I don't remember. I was able to remember Higurashi. You know why I remember Zairo and will never forget. But regardless, what's his name? He's the leader. My brain is saying Kin, but I know that's not it. What is his name? I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember. But regardless, his design is still fine too. I really like his weapon. I like the mace that he wields. I love the chakram here. The multi-section staff actually looks really, really cool. Though I'll admit the sections are a lot smaller than I thought they were. Like they look drawn small, but maybe it can change in size. And this sacred pillar gives me, I initially, when it was first being called a sacred pillar, my brain immediately went to the Oibong or the Jingu Bang. Sorry, the God of High School's fan spoke out before the fan of Journey to the West itself. But regardless, I thought it was like more akin to this. But notably, it kind of isn't, because notably you'll note that the Oibong or the Jingu Bang has like a solid metal core section and then branching differences on each side of the staff. And while this is kind of there, it doesn't look like his can expand. And also the middle section is a lot thicker than it would be. But still, a very interesting design. I like all their weapons. I like all the designs. In terms of color, I will admit, I was initially, like I mentioned earlier, with their even just outfit designs, I was a little against them all having like regularly normal hair colors. The only person with a unique hair color is Higurashi, which, funnily enough, matches the bottom of his shoes, oddly specific. But ultimately, like I said, they're meant to act in direct contrast to the witches. Higurashi seems to be the most out there of these designs anyway. Like, he seems to be an exception of exceptions. And on top of that, his hair is the same color as Kabuki. which I'm not sure is meant to imply any sort of relation. Kamuki didn't have any specific reaction to him, so I doubt he's of the Harvest family, but hey, he's the only one with a unique hair color. But overall, enough yapping and glazing these designs, because Shiro Uzaki-sensei and Osamu Nishi-sensei, of the many things they can do, designing and making fantastic characters, it's one of their core things. Let's not waste more time. Let's hop right into chapter 82. 82 second hunt? Lord. 80-second hunt. Successors. Alright, let's take a look. Ugh. Darn. Fire. Alright. I mean, like, I suppose she is literally called the Bullet Witch, so why would she have any other magics? Or and by magics, I mean magics as in, like, magical spells, and also magics. But at the same time, I hope she has a little bit more diversity. If she is just launching. But let's see. Fire. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna read this quote directly from one of many ASMR, because it legit tickled me. Hold on, where is it? I'm gonna go to content. Let's see. I'm gonna go to content. I'm gonna go to view all. Load faster. There we go. And then we're gonna go to visibility public. Should have been a week ago. because they fried me, deservingly so. It was hilarious. Hold on, here it is. Darn, was it really 10 days ago? Yes. Hold on. Like Dakota, very specifically, one of ASMR said, Pencil see the character for the first time immediately. Next update says she's a butch design, and the only butch design he remembers in the manga is the Princess 24. That she is probably hey, I made a mistake. That is true. That's absolutely true. But with it being the case, fire. All right, let's see. Oh, all right, we're getting backstory and lore. Muscat is the Ribbon Candy family's proprietary magic. Proprietary. Let me make sure I remember what that word means. Hold on. Proprietary. There we go. Proprietary. Proprietary refers to something that is privately owned, exclusively controlled, and protected. Yeah, so does it choose that? Does it choose? I mean, inherited by generations of ribbon candy witches. Okay, I'm guessing it must choose that. I'm guessing, because, like, I highly doubt. I mean, like, if it keeps the same trial, maybe it can just keep getting acquired. But interesting. Like, when I hear proprietary, I think of ownership, right? And that's what it means. Like, if you're held and isolated within one person, that doesn't, like, magics are, even for this one, which does look a bit more like thing rather than person, like we've seen a lot of the magics be, and even less bestial. It's still, all magics are sentient, as far as we know. We haven't met a single non-sentient magic. Inazuri could speak, Urawashi could speak, and they're, like, the two most animalistic ones we've had. Obviously, we've seen World Hater, Hitsugi, Hizashi, like, no matter what, every single magic we've seen has been sentient, from, like, birth. So it is very interesting that proprietary. But, let's see. As a family tradition, Muscat gifts their daughters with I wonder what happens to the sons. Take it out back. Let's see. As a family tradition, given to Hephaestus on some, I'm not sure if that's still canon. Is that still canon in DC? I know, like, whenever the daughters of the Amazons, or, like, whenever the Amazons, like, produce males, I believe in some continuities, I'm not sure if this is canon in Rebirth still, I'm pretty sure they're given to Hephaestus as, like, forge workers. But I don't remember if that's canon or not still. Let's see. As a tradition, the Muscat gifts their daughters with a splagooter fitting their level of magical energy. Oh, okay. A splagooter, its size, type, and power was a manifestation of each girl's unique talents. Interesting. So, I'm assuming it's the, well, no, because we know that Amadoro is the current head. So I do wonder how it's passed down, and, like, how it produces these things. Because, like, that's a very unique ability, seemingly separate from, you know, just firing stuff a whole bunch, to be able to manifest weaponry of varying sizes that specifically adapts to the potential of its wielder. That's unique, but could, once again, we've seen magics and their abilities adapt in a lot of weird ways to whoever's wielding them. Let's see. When Amadoro was 6 years old, Muscat presented her with a splagooter. The massive, yeah, the Giga Machine splagooter, and I'm assuming, yeah, this is presumably her wand. That's crazy. But you know what though? If potential. If she's able to do it, why not? Give it to a 6-year-old. Let's see. Amadoro's greatest talent was her staggering magical energy reserves, which let her fire hundreds of rounds without pause. In fact, she had yet to ever run out of ammo during a... So that's going to happen this battle. And she's definitely possessed. Like look at her. All right. I'll admit, if I still genuinely think if y'all hadn't pointed out in the comments, I wouldn't have figured it out. Maybe if I was paying super extra close attention, but I don't think I would have figured it out. But regardless, she's under control. But even still, setting up that she's never run out of ammo in a battle, she's probably gonna run out of ammo in this battle. But interesting and humongous. And to be fair, that is definitely one thing I've been questioning. That I don't think we've gotten much of that. Like, we kind of sort of seen it, maybe. Like, in the last arc, ironically enough, with Chrono Weaver. Or the what is the arc even called? Is it called the Chrono Weaver arc? Chronostasis arc? Pendulum Sea arc? Regardless. Essentially, we saw Deskross run out of energy and literally pass out, right? Ichi needed to catch her. And we've seen Ichi pass out, but notably that seems to be as a byproduct of just using Uro. It's like a cost to that ability specifically. Magical reserves, despite obviously this universe having a power system, haven't really been a thing except for last arc. So it is interesting that we are reinforcing, just as we introduced that idea last arc, that witches, even if Deskross's power level, can run out of magic and run out of stamina, which obviously makes sense. She was fighting extensively, slaughtered, 10,000 separate things all at once, and then proceeded to slaughter Kizashi over 100 times. Yeah, of course she ran out of energy. But in that same case, I'm glad we're getting more elaboration on it. Once again, this is someone Ichi Sensei just spoon-feeding us more and more information, and I still like it. It keeps me heavily engaged and wanting me to, like, pick apart everything even more. Let's see. In fact, she had yet to ever run out of ammo during a battle. She had some of the highest destructive capacity of any witch. Interesting. Especially with the Splagooter in particular. Considering the not, and to be fair, some of the highest destructive capacity doesn't mean the highest. I'm assuming Deskross and Togais can still probably do more. If we'll remember, one of the things that, and it's crazy to think, because that was literally over a year ago, like a year and a half ago at this point when we actually saw Togais in action, just one of her casual magics was freezing entire swaths of forest and area. Like, she was causing more havoc than she was really helping with, and that was just one of her magics. So, we do know that the destructive potential of witches is still very, very high. Let's see. But... okay. But Minakata's just not, he ain't even letting it slide. He ain't letting it, it's something light, something clean, something easy, delicious. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and... Is that a snack? Is that a snack on the side? okay, Minakata, let's see. Wham! But she does block, though. She does block. All right. So, ooh, but look at the force there. And once again, this does sort of soft line confirm. There's one of two things that soft line confirms. There's either a universal power system beyond the universal power system, or like in tandem, kind of like how... What's a good example? Like how in Naruto, there's nature energy, and then there's nature, and then there's like regular chakra, right? And there are different types of chakra that flow into different dojutsu and stuff like that. Like, and all like there's a bunch of different chakra types in Naruto, and there are different magic types in Seven Sins, and in Dragon Ball there are different types of ki. I think Dragon Ball would actually be a perfect example of this, because Dragon Ball has regular ki, God ki, and like evil ki. That's like mainly, I don't think that's a thing in like the main series, but I know it's a thing in the extended materials in the video game and stuff. But essentially, I'm assuming that witches reinforce themselves physically, right? Like I'm guessing, and presumably they do that with magic and their magical reserves. I'm guessing, just based on how power systems like this usually work, because we haven't actually gotten clarification of that. We don't know if Ichi does any like magical strengthening. We don't know if Deskross does. We have no clue. But in that same case, for the men of this universe to just be this strong, Gokuraka has an excuse. He's literally an augmented human, right? Who has magical power flowing through him. He's just can't use it traditionally because he's a man. But for Minakata to be powerful enough to do this and put this much pressure on a witch as strong as Amadoro, I'm assuming there must be very, like, there's a specific example I'm thinking of. Like, Black Clover and its ki versus magic system is coming to mind, because, like, Asta could use ki, but he couldn't use magic. So I think that's, like, the direct, most perfect example. But there's another one I'm thinking of, where one group of people has access to this power, and other doesn't. Like, I'd use God of High School. God of High School is weird. Like, they never actually set up a power system beyond borrowed power. They're supposed to believe that humans can just do that. There's never an explanation behind why just some humans in God of High School just like that. even without borrowed power. They're just built like that, for real. But in Ichi the Witch, I'm assuming there's something that men can do that allows them to compete at all, because realistically they shouldn't. If witches are able to reinforce themselves, maybe they can't. I assume they can, though. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. And he's putting a decent chunk of pressure on her too. Yeah, enough to send her. Wow. All right. So he puts the pressure on. Oh wait, hold on. Went wrong way. So he swings down, pushes her into the ground, staggers her, knocks her back with a spin of the staff, puts the staff behind him, and then, notably, what I would think he would do is like do a complete spin and just thwack her with it. No, he then puts it behind him and then shuffles, tackles her. She does block again, but that's enough to push her back out of the crater he just created, and enough to get her to crunch down on some stick that's in her mouth. Let's see. He'd put Amadoro on the back foot. When it comes to raw power, she's on par with Deskra. That's a hefty. No, wait a. No, wait a second. No, wait a second. You for real? you for real? Deskros. But raw power, obviously Deskros is still the strongest because she has the variety and the hacks, I'm presuming. But interesting. So Amadoro, I mean, to be fair though, if she really has only spec'd into Muscat and firepower and just straight that, to the point where she's literally only known as the Bullet Witch, I'm assuming it's like a Ryu versus Sukuna situation, where Ryu has the highest output and stuff like that, and thus is able to like kinda compete, but Sukuna has really high output and also other things in his kit that allow him to do more than Ryu. But still, that like, obviously, I assume in a battle, Deskros would probably be able to take Chun. That's his name. That's it. That's his name. Chun. That's the leader's name. There we go. But I'm assuming Deskros would probably diff everyone except maybe Chun, just because, leader versus leader stuff. But interesting that someone on par that, and like, who knows, maybe we're gonna get it clarified that Amadoro, thanks to being under control, as I presume she is like nerfed or something like that. But that's very impressive, and I do think makes sense to set up for the rivaling faction to have rivaling powerhouses. Very good. Let's see. And yet he's pushing her. Who is that man? Takeomi Minakata, Magic Keeper or Magi Keeper. Interesting. I still do think he like there isn't. Technically I can't call it a family resemblance just yet because they aren't confirmed to be family. But I don't know, man. Minakata and Ichi look so similar. Like, and not in the same face syndrome, because Shiro Uzaki Sensei is amazing at diversifying like facial structures and making everyone look unique. So like, the idea that I'm seeing Ichi and Minakata overlap so consistently, there's got to be something. There's got to be. I can't fully be tweaking, can I? Can I? Maybe I am, but I doubt it. Let's see. He was a fisher from an island country to the east. Ah, okay. So we're gonna soft drop Japan without ever saying it's Japan. All right, let's see. Oh, hey Chun. Very strange character, design wise. Not in a bad way. Like, he is distinct. Like, it's funny, he's simultaneously distinct and not distinct. I think that's the weird thing that throws me off about Chun and his design. Let's see. Why don't you come with me? I can help you get revenge on Fujimine. Okay. So he was slighted. Okay, personally slighted. Let's see. No. Oh, and he doesn't care. Well, obviously we know that he does end up caring, but interesting, in the moment he says no. Let's see. Each Magic Keeper carries his own personal sacred treasure. Sacred treasure, you say? Sacred treasure, you say? Wait a minute. Sacred treasure? Did they have that already? And I'm just dumb and I forgot. Did I not do this? I got two. I'd get Chastity, but like, where am I keeping Chastity? I'd get Gideon, but like, where am I keeping Gideon? I really have enough. I'm straight out of room. I still want to collect more stuff because I can't help it. But at the same time, I can't help that I don't have any more space, so I'm not gonna collect any more stuff. But let's see. Yeah, when's the last time I even drew Lost Sing? I need to start doing stuff more with these things. I have ideas, but I just need to actually get to executing them. Let's see. Slow you back up. Alright. Each Manga Keeper carries his own personal sacred treasure. Short range, long range, blades, whips, throwing weapons, and pole arms. There are many varieties of sacred treasures, but they are all made from a special material called shaka wood. They're all made of wood? Even the blade... Well, I'm assuming the blades could be, like, lacquered. I'm thinking of, like, Higurashi's weapon specifically, but interesting. All made of wood? Hold on. That's made of wood? Huh. That's made of wood? That's made of wood? Maybe the like the part they're holding it's made of wood. Well, no, they literally got absorbed into the blades. So yeah, I guess everything's made of wood and just like lacquerized and maybe like coated in metal. All right, interesting. Cause like man, to be fair though, I will give the divine pillar does straight up look like wood. Let's see. Chakra trees have the unique ability to absorb magical energy. Once again, this world seems so oddly. If we end this series in hopefully like 10 years or something, man, make as much art as you can. But when we end this series, if we don't end up fighting God, it's gonna. I'm not gonna say it's bad. I'm not gonna say it's garbage. I'm not gonna say it's horrible. I'm gonna say it's just gonna feel weird. Because this world, like more than even like a lot of recent new gen, right? And like I suppose we're in like a new gen era, like next gen. I've seen some people call it. But like Kagurabachi as a world isn't this designed. Dan as a world isn't this designed. Like I don't know. Ichi the Witch feels so specifically designed and power balanced the more and more you learn about it that like there's gotta be some creator deity running around. Or maybe not running around, but like they gotta exist. Let's see. Their draw is so intense an average woman would faint from a mere touch. Interesting. Okay. And that's right, because all women do have magical energy, they just don't know how to use it, that's why they go to school. Let's say, the anti-witch weapons made from this wood became known as sacred treasures. So, presumably made by men, for men, because I doubt witches would carve it themselves, or could carve it Well, they probably could if they had enough magic, but why would they? Let's say, one of the sacred treasures we currently have in our possession is the sacred pillar. Ah, okay. If I recall, that was the treasure used by one of the Manga Keepers sent to take Fujimine down when she rebelled. The only one who managed to escape alive, in fact. His name was Minakata. Okay, so his first name. Okay, so he was named first name, last name. So his name is Takeyomi. He's from the Minakata family, just as Amadoro is from the Ribbon Candy family. Minakata is from the Takeyomi is from the Minakata family. All right. Interesting that he then only like. I mean, to be fair, though, if it is a whole, like, mentor-student dynamic. Descartes never got a last name, interestingly enough. But, well, not interestingly enough, she's an orphan. But at the same time, she probably should have known her last name, because she had a little brother. Regardless, all that aside. And it also could just be, like, a cultural thing. There are some cultures that don't have last names. There are some cultures that don't have middle names. But, that aside, Takeyomi, there was a Minakata before him that actually fought Fujimine. Very interesting. Let's see. He would have been your predecessor. And the sacred pillar was your family's heirloom. Oh! So they come from a line of Manga Keepers. Okay. That makes sense. Under normal circumstances, you would have inherited it. Nowadays, other Manga Keepers call your family a disgrace. They say your predecessor was a coward who abandoned his duty. Don't you want to clear your family's good name? That's very, very akin to... I mean, I don't think Takeyomi's presumable father, uncle, older brother. Like, if it's at the time of Fujimine's initial attack, which was established to be 16 number of years ago. It was a while ago. I think probably his father. Well, then again, we don't know how long. He doesn't look much older here than he did then. I'm trying to like collide the timelines in my head from like when he met Ichi to when he was a Manga Keeper. I don't think. Let's see. Don't you want to clear your family's good name? Disgrace. What? I would, funnily enough, if I could do the Xemnas voice, I would give Minakata the Xemnas voice. I just can't. Do you know how long, how many clips of the Xemnas I've listened to over and over and over? Sora, do you think you can trust Riku? That's the closest I can get. So I'm gonna try it. It's not gonna be the exact Xemnas voice though. It's just not in my repertoire. Let's see. Disgrace. What disgrace? He faced an overwhelming enemy and escaped alive. That's a victory. None of the Manga Keeper families understand what it means to hunt as well as we do. Interesting. Interesting. But you know what, though? That is even more interesting, right? Well, there are multiple things here. One, he made it out, but they took the Sacred Pillar from him, right? The Manga Keepers as an organization took the family heirloom. At least that's what's implied here. Like, they didn't get to keep it. They're like, oh, you failed to stop Fujimine. Give us that. And you're exiled and disgraced. And the idea that Manga Keepers are a family thing, right? Like, this is, the Minakata family was a family. Chun presumably comes from a family. Higurashi, boxers, Aero, they probably all come from families. Interesting that they all do have opinions and essentially, I presume, voted together, like, oust them. And since he was alive, like, he presumably, Takeyomi's father is probably still around. Or older brother, or whoever it was. But he's not here, and he's not talking to him specifically. So maybe he was disabled from the fight? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I figured we might see things differently. It took me a while to finally track you down, but if you don't want to join, that's the end of that. Besides, I can't stay here forever trying to persuade you to change your mind. Okay, so Chun, a manipulator, but very efficient. And honestly, for a leader of an organization, especially of his scale, I get that. Let's see. Not when the world changed in a big way the other day. Oh! Oh, so what was he doing all those years ago? I thought he was a Manga Keeper all the way back then. Takeyomi, what were you doing? Because I'm assuming the thing he's about to mention is Ichi. And like, look at those eyes. Hold on, let me see. Takeyomi? Ah, there it is. Have you heard of him? The male witch. The first ever in the world just made his debut. Ah, okay. Okay! Oh, that's real. That's even more reason than I thought. I think, because they're talking about his debut. So it was a worldly debut. We just didn't get to see the other associations. Because that, if I remember, that's specifically him from the little miniature arc between the Kagami arc and the Chronostasis arc. Essentially when Komugi had the whole thing with Spica. Minakata wasn't a Manga Keeper. Until then? How long did the Chronostasis arc take? Let's see, or how long has it been? Let's see. First ever to make his debut. He's not someone we can afford to officially ignore. But how to best handle him? That's the million Manga question. Manga, magics, magic. Let's see. After all, he's Oh, so this look of genuine confusion from Chun makes me believe he did actually. He brought this up just to explain. Like he said, okay, so Chun, while he's a top tier manipulator, gaslighter, gatekeeper, and girl bosser, he does. I don't think he actually knew that Minakata had any direct connection to him. He was just giving him a reason why he had to leave. Huh. Interesting. All right. Takeyomi's like, ain't no way that's 20. Let's see. Chop by the head. Sora, Ichi, how many times do I have to tell you? Just because they directed their bloodlust at you doesn't mean you charge straight at them. Interesting that, and Ichi never internalized that lesson. I mean, like, he pseudo-internalized it. He recognized it as a thing he does. But he hasn't fixed it. Which is, hey, very true to life. There are many things, and I can speak from personal experience, there are many things that I know about myself that I also know are flaws. That I have, like, tried to fix somewhat, but haven't gone out of my way to, and they've been flaws for years. Years. You've seen a lot of them in content creation. They just are. I need to fix them. Will I? I'll try. Let's see. Sora, if your prey is too much to handle, you run immediately. There's gotta be something in those trees, bro. Because there's no way you're competing with the witch with destructive power equal to Descaros. Well, to be fair, that seemingly was years later because it was a young Ichi. But you're running away from a bear? Really? Well, to be fair, maybe he was testing Ichi and then Ichi failed to run. Let's see. Sora, Ichi. It can only be called a success if you return from it with your life. That's what it means to hunt. Understood? I get what he means, but also he's kind of wrong, right? Like say for example, I go to the store to buy milk, and I go to the store, but this store gets attacked or something. And I get out of there. I run because I'm not gonna face the attackers by myself. And I get home. I didn't succeed in my, like, I wouldn't say that's a successful hunt for the milk because I didn't get the milk. I lived, so I can go get the milk another day. But like, the hunt in of itself failed. Interesting. Let's see. Understood. Interesting though. Minakata's saying that, but even his own eyes here that I can see through the mask doesn't seem like he fully believes it. Let's see. Okay, but then how long am I supposed to run for? Good question. Me, in the case of going to get milk and the store gets attacked, I'm running halfway across the nation. Let's see. If I run, it could chase after me and try to attack again. And if it does, I have to think of a new way to hunt it. Prepare everything and then go try again. As long as I'm still alive, it should be okay to keep trying over. And that is true. I do believe in that idea. Like, the hunt was put on pause. I wouldn't say it was a success if you ran away. I was like, should be okay to keep trying over and over. Heck, that's where the real hunt starts. Until one or the other of us falls. That direction on that, one, explains why he never fixed the bloodlust issue. And two, his, not dynamic, but his reaction to the World Hater prophecy. His very, like, Weeball-esque reaction, where he's like, yeah, I'm gonna hunt you. Fails, but then it's like, no. Oh, I'm gonna get you on it, because they're both still alive. So, Ichi technically is on he really does have that lingering quest marker. He's playing Breath of the Wild at Tears of the Kingdom right now. Get to Hyrule Castle. He's playing that, because he has that lingering hunt open. Because he didn't capture the World Hater. Let's see. One of us falls! Sora. I'm sorry. It's gonna be the trigger line. Like, for anyone who knows my various voices that are actually based on a specific character, and not me just altering the pitch of my voice, they have intro lines.
Nicky Town, my name is Imperfect Cell.
Hot, filthy monkeys. I am Lord Frieza. Like, it's not even words for me. I don't know. I mean, like, I can attempt to just directly switch into one of them, but it never I have the voice clip that I reference for the entirety of their voice in my head, and I play that along with my speech to, like, sync up.
Because if I were to simply talk like Lord Frieza from Round Start, it's close, but it doesn't hit the same.
Let's see. So, you're gonna have to get used to hearing, Sora, do you believe you can trust Riku? The hunt is not truly done. Interesting, though, and to be fair, successors, that's what the chapter's called. But the idea that now Fujimine is technically a legacy hunt, right? Because I don't think it was Takeomi who failed to capture her. He was probably just a kid at the time. But now, it's his responsibility. Especially since whoever was the Minakata before him failed, but Fujimine and the Minakata are still alive, so gotta go for it. Let's see. Chun's like, of all things, now you're locked in? Let's see. Sora, this isn't coincidence. Someone, somewhere, is trying to tell me something. My family left Fujimine in the past, but they say that hunt is not over. Oh, so even they say that. So Minakata had altered his family's beliefs a little bit. Let's see. And I, along with my family's treasure, the sacred pillar, have to take her down together. Okay. He gonna die. What is it? I mean, to be fair, it's a mentor character. It's a mentor character in a manga, right? He's gonna look real cool. He's gonna be real great. He gonna die. So, like, both him and Deskros, both Ichi's two mentors. I'm just waiting for it. Deskros has kind of always been like, oh, you introduced a strongest archetype character, and not like a Gilgamesh type strongest archetype character. Oh, she gonna die. But now Minakata too, he has a direct mission that conflicts with a major antagonist. Like, maybe you could argue, well, World Hater is Ichi's true main antagonist, so maybe Minakata and Fujimine will have the more direct dynamic. Meanwhile, Ichi and Fujimine will have, like, a more tertiary dynamic. Like, if anything, they'll be fighting through proxies, right? Like, technically, like if anything, it's like Ichi and the World Hater up at top, and then their proxies will be Fujimine for the World Hater and Minakata for Ichi. Which could be very interesting to see. But at the same time, man, I don't know. Shiozaki Sensei. Well, someone Ichi Sensei. I was putting up Death Flag for the fun of it, for the love of the game. Let's see. Have to take her down together. Boom. All right, destroys the ground, but does miss. Amadoro does dodge. 3 months ago. Okay, so that does give us context. So yeah, there must be training and stuff happening off screen, right? Because if for that to be 3 months ago, and then for them to have just gotten back from the chronostasis mission, which wasn't actually that long, they spent like 3 days there. Not even 3. We know it wasn't 3 days because Ichi popped Uro day 1, and then didn't get through the full 3-day rest cycle. He was specifically advanced to not be in the full 3-day rest cycle. So the chronostasis mission was like 3 days at most, if that's if we're really eyeballing it. So 3 months since Ichi's debut, and notably, like I mentioned, that picture where that comes from, that is the arc right before the chronostasis arc. So there were 3 months of off-screen stuff. 3 whole months. Very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I doubt there were hunts. I feel like we would have known about that. I don't like, maybe once we're in like the mid-hundreds, maybe like mid-200, maybe we're going to start doing like, Ichi just starts getting Magics off screen, or we get like a panel or two. I still feel like we're in a stage of the narrative, especially when we're still explaining a bunch of stuff, which I think is good. I don't think we're going to miss any of Ichi's major hunts. Maybe Deskros goes and gets Magics on her own or something like that. But I don't really see Ichi getting Magics off screen. So it's interesting to see how much time has passed. And that's 3 months from that point. Not 3 months from the start of the narrative, which I still don't, like, I don't think we've known how much time has passed since Ichi was first gotten. I don't know. If someone does know, let me know. Let's see. Oh, and one of my ASMR, I am going to do that. I am going to do that video. That video on the designs from, I think it was on, I need to look into that and actually just properly record that video. There are a bunch of videos I need to just sit down and properly record. I've had a tier list bouncing around like a list. I've had a list of tier lists sitting in a Google Doc. I just need to sit down and record. I'm going to buckle down and just record. I need to record in mass. Gosh darn, that's one of the issues I talked about that I have is this flaw. Like, I know what videos need to be done. I have a bunch of scripts written. I haven't even sat down and recorded them. It's me. It's me versus me. Let's see. That was about 3 months ago. What? A Magic Keeper's compatibility with his weapon changes much, from the weapon's power to how long it takes to master it. All I can say is that that's the Minakata blood for you. You rarely see so compatible a pair. So he is to speak, the ultimate rookie Magic Keeper, Minakata, or Takeomi. But alright, interesting. So he's only had it for 3 months. And he's able to compete with, and once again, that was years ago when he was raising, or like training young Ichi. But we know, years ago, he was like, yeah, Ichi, you and I need to run from this bear. Now, with 3 months of interacting with something that can absorb magic, which admittedly, essentially does hard neutralize Witch's entire kit, it explains why the pillar hasn't taken any damage from all the Muscat fire, because it doesn't mean anything, it's just magic. So Amadoro would have to do something physical to him in order to just not have it negged by the pillar. But still, physically being able to keep up with Amadoro is still insanely impressive. And especially with her being comparable to Deskros in raw destructive output. And it's Minakata here and now who's doing the most direct damage to the environment. So, big stuff. Big think. Let's see. No, it's not meant to open up. Why are you even on my screen? Go! Let's see. Minakata. So that was 3 months ago, but he's only had his sacred treasure. All right, he trained with his sacred treasure for 2 months in a few days. That's crazy. To be that technical with it 2 months. Yeah, Desgard's Monogold may not be it. Oh, lovely. I do very much appreciate your vigor. The tougher the target, the faster, the more aggressive, the better. The more difficult it is to lock my sights upon their heart or their forehead, the greater elation when I nail them dead on. The delicate fragrance of tea and smoke, shells of magic. Why do I always do this? Shells of magic planted daintily in the chamber. Oh, okay. She's actually powered up. Oh, okay. And that there's Muscat, presumably not full power, but maybe full power. From this barrel bloom flowers of fire. If you would please, bust a cap! Is that how that phrase works? Typically, I know the phrase goes, "I'm gonna bust the cap and go behind." The word behind ain't used, but like, I think if anything, it should go, if you would please let me bust a cap in you. If you please let me bust in you. But interesting. So Amadoro is able to be pressured now, early on, by Minakata. But I'm assuming now Chun or maybe Descaros. Like, someone's probably gonna have to step in at this point if she's now just for real engaging. She was testing him out and seeing if he was actually worthy of engagement, and now she's powering up, and the little tiny muscat we saw from the start of the chapter is now doing this. So, yeah, probably things gonna level up. Of course, though, the main issue she's gonna have to get past is the pillar itself. Unless all of these individual points on Muscat can fire and cause like ricochet effects, technically he still has the perfect count. He just needs to wield the pillar properly, which is easier said than done, but clearly he's good with it. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, she's under control. There we go. Okay, so we are sort of hardly confirming. So I probably would have caught it this chapter, which would have been too late. Let's see. Now, Amadoro. That's not right. It's not the Magic Keeper you're supposed to kill. What was my request again? Tell me. Your request was... alright, and there it is.
Who he feeling like?
Yo, hold on, I gotta put my sacred treasure back up on the wall. Give me 1 second. Let me put my sacred treasure back up because I will forget and I will leave it down. There's one time where I picked up Rita for a video and then Rita was just resting in the area for a while before I sealed it back in its spot. But who? Gone, is that you? Who? Yo. Wait, no, that's his laugh. That's like, yo, wait, hold on. Let me pull my photo with it. Who's profile? He's in the... Like you built for this. I know he's studying tech right now. Like that's the locked in. I'm viewing literally anything and everything. Look, but still, who he felt like where Pedo at? Where Pedo at? I mean, no, there's no Pedo equivalent here. But okay, Ichi the witch. All right, but Amadoro, while I do probably believe you are more than enough for Minakata in the 1v1 if you lock in, you are outnumbered. What? We don't know how strong Monogold is, but presumably strong enough, right? But you are outnumbered because you have Monogold there. But realistically, you know what the biggest side is. You're direct equal in terms of raw power, but even more devious and diabolical hacks-wise and diversity of abilities-wise in Descaros. Then, I mean, Ichi himself isn't a threat. He literally would have died. Like, he's not a threat. But, and same thing with Gokuraku, like, presumably hostage fodder. Same thing with Kamugi. Unfortunately, they can't help. The rest of our main cast, the rest of Team Descaros is pretty much useless here. But you have Monogold, your leader, Descaros, the strongest witch in creation, the one Magic Keeper who's already been able to like keep pace with you pretty well, Minakata, Chun, and I don't think Zairo left. Zairo's still here. Obviously, Higurashi and Boxster went off to go take care of the rest of the Rimming Candy family, but like, I don't think. I mean, like, you better be dumb, stupid, crack, because I don't think you got that. And I think focusing on Ichi, turning your back on Minakata is probably going to get you clonked in the head. But overall, a really, really good chapter. Well, a banger, of course. It's a little bit weak, but a banger of a banger. All right. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please do me a favor and light it up in the comment section down below. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that leads on notifications so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, we're going to have a Patreon down below. You can support me for as low as $1 a month. You get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some perks include the live reactions, early series and review, ad-free variations to all my videos, early ad-free access to all my videos, early ad-free access not just on my videos on the main channel, but on the second channel that got a reaction. Link in the description down below and in the card in the upper right-hand corner. On top of that, I do have a link to my Twitch down below, where I stream every Friday at 8 p.m. ES Tizzles when I can. And on top of that, I do have a link to my Ko-Fi down below, where you can drop 5 minutes or a short video, 20 minutes long video, or any means at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. And I want to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Glacier XZ, Zara, J2MA, Buddha Ura, Yuki Ally, Grim, Ollie, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Tim Thomas, Kaving, RXN, Dead Meme, Kian Stewart, Edwin Igbinoba, Straw, Antavius Mitchell, Super Flame Zero, Weary Exile, Alex Kenny, Todd, The Practical One, Landon Clapwick, Heath Nelson, CAET, Plant Crone, Brandon Payne, Multi-Batman Superman, Zalim, Sleepin' John, The Young Family Pastel Pandora, Mo City King DKG, Akolade Babatunde, Union Eye, Athenzi Shear, Sino King, CCC, Enzo, Kitty Liddy, Axis XC, Praise the Sun, Magic, Andrine Bonnet, Donovan McIntosh, at JDog2656, Aswin Hedi Placentia, Sheesh King, Yo Extras, AZ Void, Professor Von Tuck III, Nevies97, and Black Sage. Then I'd even thank you to our line art tier patrons: Dread Zoen, Kevin Encarnacion, Lucas Stace, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. Then I'd like to give a thank you to our ink tier member, Shrimpo the Fourth Shrimp 06. And I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier member, Jay Warrior. Then I'd like to give a thank you to our colored art tier patrons, Walkie Munoz and Walkie Munoz.